Hello and welcome to Ideas Diana's Makerspace. This is episode 103. Today's episode is about my rant with AI. I've been watching a few things on YouTube about people talking about what happened with Stack Overflow regarding AI and some other places regarding AI. Um, One issue is basically about attribution. When people post answers in that they're assuming that they're posting answers under the Creative Commons license or some form of attribution, new license, MIT license, like on GitHub or basically SourceForge, which both I support. I do have a few things on GitHub. Let me just add some things on here. If you, I have some board projects. I just put a topic for EPOM programmers, and then another one on GitHub. Um, and And what happens is basically with this is the reason why I start from commenting on this is because I heard one person this just a few minutes ago commenting and she was making some valid points about how with Stack Overflow how basically some of the things were offloaded over to OpenAI and basically it's like some people tried to delete the answers, they couldn't delete the answers. They try to make a protest. They are banned for a few days for making a protest. Um, Technically, what happens? Those answers are those people's answers based upon a Creative Commons license and attribution license and what's the term? Like basically. You know, if you use someone's comments, you give them credit. Well, like for example, I'll just show a simple example here. Um, These are two examples of some things that basically are common when you look on the internet. This is a 555, and what you'll see is when you look at the 555, you see how use a potentiometer and a pot like that, all going down like here. Um, Now, what happened was the reason I use this design is actually what happens. That design I actually was watching a YouTube video with someone that was from Germany, and what happened, what he did was what I always wondered like how to how to add a variable part to it, but even how to put the capacitor in the easy way. And what he demonstrated was basically put the pot on top on pin 6, 7, 8 like this, so you could just turn it, and you put the capacitor here with the ground here. I thought, God, this is so simple to remember, and I've used this ever since. Another common thing is basically is let's go to the Z80 no-op tester. Now, what happens is a lot of people, I simplified this, but a lot of people have put this design on here and how to do a no-op tester. And I'm glad basically, you know, that they put this, and I now understand by following the videos, liking the videos, and that though. And when I can contribute to Patreon. What happens though is the thing is in Skillshare, but what happens is when you see this, it's like this. But now what happens, here's the issue about this is basically, well, okay, let's say basically you post this, and like even with me posting this, even you know, even with people who put like basically, well, you know, and they'll put a copy because they're making a representative sketch, not exact sketch of what was put, but representative sketch, showing again showing basically the circuit, push button, and other things. Well, okay. Let's say someone says, well, okay, well, we agreed to create common license when you posted this. We agreed to new license when you posted this, and you know, well, we have this new thing called Super X AI that's coming in, supposed to help everyone, and they need to use the data, and we're going to send it into them. Well, the question I have is this. This is under Creative Commons license, and there are many websites that use Creative Commons license. Like I remember taking Global, Diane, I would just put that on there too, just a minute, just so you can take a look. I have some curated artwork like that though. So let's see. And what happens is basically when let's say you put that on there and and under the Creative Commons share and share alike, it's like fine, then what happens when this stuff gets dumped to an AI? Let's say you take something like this, you're helping someone out, you put something out like this, and whether you're Arduino fan or something else like that, though, you put it out and you're going to say, well, okay, you're glad to help someone out. But someone basically corporate says, well, we have the Super X AI, they need to use the data, and we can get so much for so many contributions. We can get like maybe a buck for each contribution. We get like a billion contributions, so we can make $1 billion easily. Um, well, what happens to the people who contributed this stuff? Um, do they get part of their buck? No, the corporation gets it. And what happens is, and they say, well, corporate says, well, you did a share and share alike, so we're doing share and share alike. Well, what happens? They're getting paid. You're not. Is that really fair? I mean, come on now. You paid for your college education, you paid for your technical education, you paid for books, manuals, computers, and other things, and it's like, and you're not going to get paid for it. And the wondering why the IT field is having a crisis because basically, I was a computer scientist for many years and even medical research. And I stepped out to a different field because basically the same thing. I didn't want to be used as a serf. And what happens when you see this thing like an example like I mentioned, like someone comes out with a super AI and they say, well, yeah, let's send all our postings or super AI learners. And then what happens, AI will attribute and say, well, we got the super postings from XYZ company. Wow. The company gets the attribution, they get the money, but the people who literally posted and supported this company to make them, well known on the internet, they kicked in the face, and they're not getting anything. Really, wow, this is worse than communism. I mean, we had a Cold War over this. Even in Russia, basically, they don't agree with what communism went. Even looking back like that, though, they agreed it's better to have people get paid, have better people allow people to go to church, get married openly, and other things, and they don't agree with this. Um, well, this tech thing where it's almost like Metropolis, where you have one group basically that lives very well and everyone else that contributes lives very poorly. I mean, the thing with AI is basically if we're going to have AI and we're going to use AI, it also should give attributions not just to the company but also to the person. Just like I'll give you another example. I happened in science many years ago. In science many years ago, um, basically DNA was the structure of DNA was elucidated in about 1947. Well, at that time, basically, the people who given credit for elucidating DNA, they actually did do the elucidation. They went to someone who was able to read the crystal plots of a DNA, and she figured out the structure. But they're the ones that first write the paper. So for many years, the two people, Watson and Crick, received all the credit for elucidation of DNA, while the one person, Rosalind, I forgot her last name, didn't receive anything. And about 10 years ago, I'm glad that the Nobel Committee changed their bylaws that basically she is included as one of the co-discoverers of the elucidation of DNA. And also the bylaws were modified that what happens, the head researcher or the principal investigator is not allowed to take full credit. They have to mention their lab techs, they have to mention their lab team, other things. And what happened was, I worked with one researcher first. He did do that. He was very nice, and he allowed me so break away from Milwaukee, but then he got pulled in, I think, and that's why we sort of actually at one time we were good friends when we broke away, and I actually went into another field other than medical research. But the point is, if we're going to have something like a company super A take everyone's data start claiming, well, we're doing share and share alike, but the company gets paid and people don't. This is exactly like what happened with the scandal of DNA discovery of DNA, structural DNA. One person's who did the most important contribution is not credited. No, I agree that we follow the Nobel Committee. Everyone is credited, and also even the California rule. And the California rule was this goes back to the 70s when they used to make TV shows, and not reality shows, but actually TV shows with writers and other things. Well, for example, let's say you had three people in the room, and two of them were writers, and one person was basically like an idea person or something. An idea person, well, here, well, why don't we keep this flub? Like that someone does a kind of trying to make a fun. Okay, why don't we keep it? Oh, okay, that's good. Let's get, yeah, that looks good. Well, what happened was under the California law, all three get credit for the rule, credit for running the episode because all three were in the room together. And even though that person just said that one thing, that person gets credit too, because what happens with that one person not saying that one thing, that show might have bombed. And that's why if we're going to go to the companies now trying to sell to try to do like the old Tin Pan Alley with songs where basically they have songwriters write a song and they pay them a pittance or don't pay them anything on. Then we need to go back. Then we need to go to full attribution, and we need to go to what the Nobel Committee said about basically everyone gets credit and everyone gets the money. Everyone gets the money. Everyone gets the money, including and everyone gets the award. Everyone gets the award in that though. None of this where. Oh well, we'll give the super AI system the award. That's the reason why they do it is because the super AI system doesn't need to be paid, doesn't need to get Social Security, doesn't need to get health care, but we do. We do. We need Social Security. We need health care. We need to get paid. We also don't want to drive along by bus all the time. We want to drive in cars too, and we want to drive in good cars too, like that though. So these Sharpies that try to sort of abuse the share. No. So I mean, I'm not calling for a complete boycott, but I think maybe on the internet, maybe we should do it what other European nations have done. Have a 7-day strike on the internet of non-contribution just to teach big tech about abusing the Creative Commons license and share alike to see that they get the point across. Also, what happens though is AI. AI is nice in some ways because when I look at things and need something to explain how circle works, that's great. But I wish there was attribution because basically it's like an attribution is not a corporation. Attribution is the individual. Attribution is the individual. Attribution is the individual. So, like for example, if someone were to say, well, okay, well, this is a great plot. This is a great sketch. We'd like to put this on OpenAI. No. I do not give permission for this to be put on OpenAI or any type of AI at all, or any other of my contributions on GitHub, SourceForge, or Taking It Global, or anything else to be put on any AI platform. And this is why I think we should adopt the European Union's rule, and especially Germany's rule regarding information. In Germany, if anyone has information on anyone or anything, they have to have express written permission for them to keep it and for them to even distribute it. And it has to be done each time. It can't be done once. And that. So we need to adopt some European standards on this with data privacy. And this was done after World War II because of the abuse of what the Nazis did. And OpenAI is actually acting on the way OpenAI-like systems are acting. It is almost like Nazis. People are working, but the stuff is being sent over without their permission, without attribution, without being paid. No. So I don't give OpenAI or any other thing AI systems the right to take my information and use it as part of the system. No. Never, never. So that includes SourceForge, GitHub, Taking It Global, Arduino, and let's see what else. And electronics exchange. No, no, nothing. So what happens? Nope. And the reason why, even though I believe in technology, I don't like how it's used, because even when I started in computer science in the early 80s, they talked about knowledge engineers. They said, well, we'll have knowledge engineers talk to experienced people, glean them from information. And the people we glean them from, they'll be treated well, they'll be treated well. Actually, they weren't. Many of the jobs were outsourced overseas. Many of them ended up working at McDonald's in the last years to try to survive before they could get on Social Security, or basically other jobs that were very low paying. And some of them even worked at jobs that were very indignant like that to them based on their education. No, I don't want to see that. I mean, I don't want to see a technology ghetto. And what happens, the problem with when I saw this one thing on AI, what happens, I'll add this link to it so you can take a look and listen to it and make a decision yourself. No, I agree with the person who was speaking. It was as coding with D, and so I'll just put the see YouTube video coding with D on AI, and I've added that to the comments. The reason why is, the thing is, right now that there are far too many coders in other things that colleges have put out. They've pushed everyone to coders. Like someone loses, like someone in industrial loses their job in industrial, they push them to being a coder. Someone loses their job in an office, they push them to being a coder. Someone loses their job, so they push them to being a coder. Now, what happens is basically what the problem is with the coders. So eventually, you have so many coders, you have a turkey roll. So you need a coder. Okay, let's see. Okay, will you work for 10 cents an hour? No. Okay, you go over here. Will you work for 10 cents an hour? No, you'll go over here. Wait, you'll work for a penny hour? Okay, you're hired. You're hired. Penny an hour. You're hired. Penny an hour. You're hired. So what it comes out to is basically on this side, I twist it down here. On this side, well, we got about multiple pennies here. To the two pennies of people who agree to work for a fair salary. Well, we got a bunch of other people who are desperate. They'll work for non-standard salary. And then what happens is we got an AI basically right here. Well, basically will work for nothing. So what happens is basically even these guys get short off. Say, well, okay, since we have an AI, well, we really don't need too many of you guys. So let's see, we're going to take some of you guys out here, and we agree, guys. Will the remainder of you guys agree to work for half a penny? So what they'll do is they'll put it over here, and then what happens? You got some people that are paid full salary. You got some people being paid half a penny. And then you got the AI over here who's not being paid anything except for maintaining the machinery. Do we want to go back to the 19th century and work that way? I mean, this is the reason why unions were formed. This is why collective bargaining was formed. This is the reason why workers' compensation was formed in Wisconsin and also under Republican government. Under Republican government, a Republican governor, a Republican legislature, Wisconsin was the first state to form workers' compensation. Wisconsin was the first university to adopt it for all of its students and professors, and also as well as fair compensation. Not this, not that. But what happens? The problem with AI and the way these super AI systems are going, where they want They want to send all these people's contributions over and not even pay them or give them attribution, but give it to the company. That's like what happened with the stealing of the discovery of DNA, where one person, Rosalind, forgot her name, but she was an African American woman. She was denied it for many years. Luckily, her family is able to get the benefits of it, and that's why the Nobel Prize Committee had to change the rules. So, if you really believe in creativity, you will not support companies porting all the posts from other users over, and also you will support people being allowed to delete their posts if they feel the company policy is bad, not to be suspended from the system if they post a protest. Because if someone posts something on there, they should be able to delete their post at any time. The company does not own it under the Creative Commons license. You have a right to create and delete your own posts, which is why I'm glad Meta changed the policy to allow that, and other places should as well. This is the reason why in the tech field, although I've written many AI things, as I put under my GitHub a Diana 1K command, and one of my AI systems was put in the code in the Arctic Code repository in 2020. I won an award for that, which is great to see, especially during COVID. You know, we got to realize people are important. You know, you just can't throw people away, and people are not coders and creative people, as well as other people, are not pennies in the collection where you can shake around and say, well, okay, I need a coder. Let's see. Will you work for a penny a day? No. Okay. Will you work for a penny a day? No. Well, let's see. Well, we really need to hire you, so we got to pay you this begrudgingly. And we really need you, so we got to pay you this begrudgingly. But everyone else, well, okay, we'll put you over here. And then basically what happens is, well, let's see. And then what happens, we'll balance the cost by adding a super AI here that we don't have to pay anything except maintaining the machinery, which means that basically this that even these people are redundant. So we can add, and well, we got one guy in here basically. Let's see. Well, this guy's a nickel. Definitely we gotta put him back. That raises our cost too much. So even with the AI, we can cut our staff down to this, and have these people sort of do a little bit more with the AI and stuff. Come on now, this is a practice of the 19th century. And this is the reason why in the 19th century, many different things emerged from the London School of Economics as communism, socialism, to challenge 19th century barren capitalism. Because even in Milwaukee had four American socialist mayors, four, from 1948 to 1962. And when people watch Happy Days on TV, that was the time of Milwaukee under Mayor Zeidler, from 1952 to 1960. And what happened at that time, Milwaukee was happy. Milwaukee didn't have the gun violence. It didn't have the violence. It didn't have the stupid things like what happened in Chicago at Pride Fest, where people got stupid at the end and half the police department of Chicago had to be called out. Milwaukee was a very nice city. I mean, my parents at that time, you know, they would go down to the Eagles and listen to Myron Thorne and Lawrence Welk and other things, and then there were restaurants like that on 24th Wisconsin. But if you go now, it's a different 24th Wisconsin than it was then. And part of the reason is because of American socialism. And that's always what distinguished Walter Tolstoy from Whitefish Beer. Whitefish Beer was still based upon old 19th century capitalism. There's the menials and there's the menials to help, and then there's the upper class. Walter Tolstoy basically dropped that very early when the first American socialist mayor came in. We adopted everyone's job is just as important as everyone else's job, whether you have a college degree or not. In that though, and there's no such thing as calling someone a menial or the help or anything else. Everyone Everyone has, and if people try to do someone else's job, if they think of the college degree, oh yeah, I can go and be an auto mechanic and fix someone else's car. Fine, go ahead. Let's have a boxer day. Let's see how well these so-called sharp people and shrewd people are at trying to fix someone else's car, and especially when they have to deal with parts that have been in there for a while and that are stuck, and how to get them out without breaking everything, and also how they have to deal with wires that may not that aren't perfectly color coded, red and black. How do they determine which one's positive and ground? You know, again, see, this is the reason why with these super AI systems, that's why I'm against them. I do not like them porting other people's information to knowledge base, because in the 80s, they used to call these knowledge engineers that interview people to pick their brains and glean their information. I don't agree with internet gleaming. That's what this, I'll call this, internet gleaming. I don't agree with this. I don't support this, and that's why that's why I'm going to say again, to any AI system, OpenAI and others, no to getting any of my information I posted anywhere on GitHub, SourceForge, Taking It Global, Arduino, and others. No, no, I do not give permission at any time, and I do not give permission at all. No. My information is mine. Share and like I'll do with humans, but I will not do share and like with AIs. No. Share and like with humans, but not share and like with AIs. No, no, no. So what happens, let me know what you think. And I do think we really do have to be careful about how these AIs are being rolled out and implemented, because, again, we really have too much of a world like this where coders are a dime a dozen. A few are getting paid well, but basically others are not. And what happens, do we really want to go to like a electronic ghetto like that was mentioned by Gibson in many things as Neuromancer and other things? Do we really want to go to that type of an electronic ghetto that's mentioned by Gibson, and also in the periphery like that? I don't. I hope other people don't as well. It's time to put our foot down and say no. Share and like is only for humans, and it's not to be ported for AI. And also, what happens? Companies, since they sign contracts with AI, they are entitled to pay us for our postings, because basically they are getting postings. They're getting paid for their, and the postings should be at least 50-50, because basically without our posting, those companies in the reputations would not exist. Well, let me know what you think. And this has been Ideas with Diana. And try to stay positive. And I still think, like Lawrence Focus say, try to keep a song in your heart. And also, don't, just because people are greedy or shrewd or too shrewd, don't act like them. Don't go down to their level. Work on a better level. So keep positive, work on it, work towards a higher level, and remember, no to AI mass importation of data and abuse of share and share alike by companies that are trying to do this. This has been Ideas with Diana.